So let's start with the biggest of the lot. I'm not sure if it's the biggest by market cap, but it's certainly one of the world's largest auto manufacturers, and that's Toyota. Japanese, of course. It's the world's largest. I think it's pretty much a close run thing between them and Volkswagen in terms of the maximum number of units produced. I think it's northwards of 15 million. And it's basically, of course, involved in the design, manufacture, and selling of these things. It's not just motor vehicles like the fabulous Corolla. It's everything else. It's minivans, it's SUVs, it's trucks. They own a big chunk of Daihatsu. And, of course, associated with these kind of businesses is always a financial services division which assists the production of them and the sales because, of course, people need money to get into the market. Market capitalization, value of business, $220 billion. Interesting how that $200 billion is like a benchmark for global titan companies. That gets you in the game. That's the kind of benchmark with regard to pretty much all of the companies. Yes, there's some that are bigger, but these are the ones that put you in the first division. Price to earnings ratio, not that high, 10.66. I'm not sure what its dividend yield is. I suspect it's not negative, but for one reason or another, we don't have that stat.
It's about 2.5% dividend yield, which
that
I think
sounds right.
I think it's very good for. I mean, a company this side. I mean, they have I think it's about 3.4 times dividend cover as well. So I mean, you know, one of the things you're getting when you're buying a global behemoth like this is stability as well. I mean, this is, you know, in all likelihood going to be able to maintain that dividend you know, for a long time. And I mean, if you look at the latest set of numbers as well, I mean, you know, revenue growing by 6%, which for a company of this size is, you know, is very decent.
Now, speak to me about the currency issues, because we know that it reports in yen, but it's kind of a global player. It manufactures cars all over the world, wherever the demand and the market is. But to what extent would you say that the sort of very aggressive Abenomics, quantitative easing, yen movements have been positive for Toyota or negative for Toyota, and is it a reason not to own them going forward?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
incidentally, while you talk, there's the share price.
Yeah,
you
so
can see over 5 years, it's sort of crept higher, have a little bit of a slump.
100%. Remember, Abenomics started end of 2012, December 2012. So you can see, I mean, if you actually take that share price a little bit further back, I mean, they were actually suffering, you know, with the tsunami and, you know, earthquake.
Fukushima thing.
Fukushima, exactly. So their supply chain was disrupted. They've now gotten over that, and you've got this nice run up with the three arrows of Abenomics, you know, the fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus, and some reform. So you can see the share price lifting off. And I mean, it is very, very.
And did that create additional demand in Japan for their vehicles as well as anything else?
I mean, if you look at Japan, it actually, I mean, it accounts on operating income level of about half of it. So it's large. I mean, Japan is a very important. So I mean, you do need to look at that yen, you know, yen dollar and yen rand. If you're investing from us as well. I mean, that is going to inform your decision. But again, I mean, we can talk about this indefinitely. I mean, transactional versus translational effects. I mean, it can get quite complicated. But overall, I think, you know, a solid company.
Very big market in the US for them. We're also something in the region of 15 million cars a year. China, though, I just want to focus on China. They manufacture vehicles in China for the Chinese market. When you go to Hong Kong and they use Toyotas in the you know, taxi fleet. But a couple of years ago, there was all that drama with Chinese and Japanese history and some very sensitive issues around islands and so on. Clearly for Toyota, having good relations with China is very important, both with regard to manufacturing and sales. That seems to have gone quiet, though, right? Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. I mean, I believe you have to have you know, Chinese partners to be able to, you know, produce and manufacture in China. And I mean, I know Toyota's been working at that. But interesting, if you look at Abenomics, I mean, one of the big drivers, I mean, the reasons behind Japan finally saying, listen, we're going to do QE programs, and that was you know, almost to strengthen the Japanese economy because they saw this, you know, imminent rise of China. So I mean, definitely there are some tensions there, but I don't think it's going to affect. I mean, I don't think it's going to affect sales into China.
Okay, so now we have to do the thing with hot or not. And I guess the way I like to put this question to our guests is, if you're going internationally with your hard-earned rands, converting them to dollars, would Toyota be high up on your list of stocks? Is it hot or not at this level?
Oh, no, I was going to go hot on this, but when you put it like that, I'm going to say not hot. I mean, it's stable. It's you know, it's a giant blue chip company, but you know, is it hot? Does it have that spark that's really going to take you to the next level? Probably not. So
and it seems with a 10 PE that you're not alone in that regard. I think
if you look at a 10 PE though, I mean, a lot of these companies are trading you know, on fairly low multiples. So I mean, I think you could, if I was taking money offshore and looking, you know, specifically for, you know, motor vehicle manufacture, I think you can do better than Toyota.
Okay, good. So not necessarily a recovery story, etc.,
I don't
etc.
think nothing nothing wrong with it, and I think the policies in Japan are going to help it because it is its major market, but still not hot for
Shading
me.
towards not hot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with hot because I like the idea that a stronger auto sales market would play to one of these market leaders.